The Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge is here. It's the thinnest commercially available smartphone in the world, and I got to be the first in the world to unbox all three colors. So a thumbs up for your boy would be appreciated. Now we're gonna unbox all three colors together, SuperSaf style, and the unboxing experience is pretty straightforward. There is an image of the device with the Edge highlighted on the front, but there's also a silhouette of the side of the device on the side, showing just how thin it is. We then have the device, beneath which is a quick start guide, and within the top compartment there is an inner box with the SIM tool, some warranty info, as well as a USB Type-C cable. Now as soon as you take it out of the box, you really notice just how thin this device is. 5.8 millimeters thin, which makes it the thinnest commercially available smartphone in the world. Now, yes, we do have the Techno Smart Slim, which is technically slightly thinner at 5.75 millimeters. However, that is a concept device and not commercially available. Now, to put things into perspective on the Samsung lineup, the S25 is around 7.2 millimeters thin. The S25 Plus, which you can see here side by side, is around 7.3 millimeters thin, and you can really see how much thinner the S25 Edge is, and even thinner compared to the S25 Ultra. In terms of the weight, it's around 162 grams, which is about the same weight as the S25 regular version, but a lot lighter compared to the S25 Plus, which is around 190 grams, and which this is pretty much equivalent to when it comes to the display size. Now we have the three colors, the titanium jet black, which is my personal favorite. There is the titanium silver, which is the flagship color, as well as a titanium icy blue, which looks a little bit silver from different angles. No exclusive colors available for the S25 Edge like we've got on the other S25s, but if you are interested in picking up the S25 Edge and you want to get the best deal, then check out my affiliate link down in the description below. That's going to give you double the storage, as well as up to $800 of instant Samsung credit with a trade-in, and that includes an exclusive $50 just with my link. You're not going to find that anywhere else. Now, as the color names suggest, we do have a titanium frame, and this is something that's quite important because of just how thin the device is. Is it going to bend easily? Well, I'm not somebody who's going to do a bend test, but I'm sure others will be doing one very soon. However, feeling it in hand, it did feel pretty sturdy with that titanium frame, and it's also the first device in the world to have Corning Gorilla Glass Ceramic 2, which is also supposed to make the overall device more durable with an IP68 water and dust resistant rating. Just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying this video so far and you want to see more like it, then do consider subscribing and hit that bell icon so you don't miss future coverage like this. Now, thinness aside, it does look a lot like the Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus, especially from the front, where it's pretty much exactly the same, a 6.7-inch display with a Quad HD Plus resolution. I was expecting Full HD Plus. Dynamic AMOLED with HOP 3.0 technology, which means it has an adaptive refresh rate from 1 to 120 Hz. And we've got super slim bezels. In my testing, this feels very familiar to the S25 Plus, which means it's an amazing display. Now, under the hood, this is still powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy with a tailored TIM for optimized heat dissipation and a custom vapor chamber because of just how thin it is. It also has 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM, so performance should match what we've got on the S25 series, and that means it's going to be very good and should handle your day-to-day as well as gaming absolutely fine. Now, because of its thinner form factor, how is it going to perform over longer periods of time? That's something that we're going to have to wait and see. Now, another positive of the 8 Elite for Galaxy is that it is efficient. And that's something that you're definitely going to need with the S25 Edge because it has a relatively small 3,900 mAh battery. This is something we were expecting with its thin form factor. And Samsung claimed that you can get 24 hours of video playback at Quad HD Plus resolution. At Full HD Plus, you'll be getting longer. Now, this is, of course, going to be another concern for most users. How good is the battery life going to be? Well, it's not going to be as good as the S25 or the S25 Plus, clearly. However, depending on your usage, you should be able to get a full days of use thanks to that Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy. I personally would have liked to have had a silicon carbon battery, which would have meant a larger battery capacity in a smaller footprint. That's not something we have, unfortunately. For charging, we've got 25 watts of charging, not 45 watts. But we do have wireless charging. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this is something I wasn't expecting to be on the S25 Edge because of its thinner form factor. We have 15 watts of wireless charging with wireless power share, which means you're going to be able to charge other devices on the back of the S25 Edge. Not sure you're going to want to do that with that size battery though. I also wonder that if Samsung did take off the wireless charging, would they have been able to make the device thinner? But making it thinner would potentially mean that it wouldn't be as durable. So I don't know if they kind of went for a bit of a compromise here. Now, one area where the S25 Edge is better compared to the S25 and the S25 Plus, at least mostly, is when it comes to the primary and ultra-wide cameras. So the S25 Edge only has 2 cameras. There is no telephoto camera, unfortunately, so zoom is not going to be as good as what we've got on the S25 and the S25 Plus. However, the primary camera is the 200 megapixel HP2 sensor with an f1.7 aperture. This is the same physical sensor as the S25 Ultra, but it has a redesigned lens, which is 18% slimmer, so the protrusion isn't as big as the S25 Ultra. However, results should be very similar. And then we've got a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera. This is the IMX564. This has an f2.2 aperture with autofocus, which means you'll be able to get macro shots on the S25 Edge, something you can't do on the S25 and the S25 Plus. We've got up to 8K for video recording, and the selfie camera is exactly the same as the S25 series, so it's 12 megapixels. We have the Pro Visual Engine, as well as all of the software enhancements that we have on Samsung's cameras. Speaking of software, we have One UI on Android 14 out of the box, with 7 generations of OS updates promised, as well as 7 years of security updates, which means it matches Samsung's flagship lineup, giving you some of the longest software support on any device out there. We of course also have Galaxy AI. Now this is the full Galaxy AI suite, which we've seen on the S25 series. I'm not going to go through each one of these in detail, but we have the likes of Live Translate, the browsing assist, the generative image editing that we've seen on the S25 series, as well as Gemini Live out of the box. We've got stereo speakers, so there's one in the earpiece as well as one bottom firing. And for connectivity, there's ultra wideband support, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, as well as DeX support. So you'll be pleased to know that DeX support is on the S25 Edge. They've not compromised on this. Now finally, for pricing. So the S25 Edge is priced higher compared to the S25 and the S25 Plus, and it starts at £1,100 or $1,100 for the 256GB base model, and it does go up to 512GB, which is for £1,200 or $1,219. Now, as mentioned towards the beginning of this video, there are some exclusive pre-order deals using my affiliate link down in the description below, which will give you double the storage, so 512GB for the price of $256, as well as up to $800 in instant Samsung credit if you trade in a device, and that includes an exclusive $50 using that link in the description below. Pre-orders start right away, and the device will be available from the 30th of May. So that is the S25 Edge. Who is it for? Well, in my opinion, if you're somebody who uses a case on your phone, then you're probably not going to get the S25 Edge. I think most people will still opt for the S25 or the S25 Plus, or maybe spend a little bit more and go for the S25 Ultra. However, if you are one of those people who doesn't have a case on your phone and you want something that really stands out because of just how thin it is, then this might be the device for you. I'm kind of impressed that despite the thinness of this device, Samsung hasn't compromised on the 200 megapixel camera, the Quad HD Plus display, things like wireless charging. I am very interested to see how well the battery is going to perform considering its size. I also think that Samsung are just pretty much showing off on how thin they can make a device before Apple does with the iPhone Air. And maybe this gives us a bit of a preview of the upcoming Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. Let's see. What do you guys think of the S25 Edge? What coverage would you like me to do with it? Drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss future coverage. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do smash that like button for me. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV. I'll see you next time.